On today's episode of WGTV, we take a look at Walnut Grove's Black Student Union's celebration of Black History Month. We look into student leaders around the Grove making an impact. And finally, we read into the activities human growth and development are making for toddlers. These stories and more on this episode of WGTV. Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Arnaz James.
And I'm Millie Salinas.
We have exciting stories coming up, but first, Millie's going to catch you up on what's been happening on the Grove. Millie?
Thank you, Arnaz. T-shirts and tickets for the Prosper ISD graduation celebration are now live. Click the link in Toast's newsletter for more information. SAT tests are March 6th for all juniors. No payment or registration is required, but you will need a district-issued Chromebook to take the test. Jostens graduation orders will be delivered on March 5th, 2024 in the library. For more information, contact E.L. Jones at prosper-isd.net. Prosper Parks and Recreation has officially broken ground on Raymond Community Park. The park will be located down First Street and will include a baseball, softball fourplex, tennis and pickleball courts, open fields for soccer, a small playground, and pavilions. For more information, see Prosper's official website.
The month of February is dedicated to celebrating Black history, and Black Student Union had their showcase this past Thursday. AlexGrohl looks at how their production helped honoring the culture.
BSU's showcase was an impactful way to spread awareness on Black history and showed why it was important to share their culture with the school.
It's important to showcase our culture because it projects a lot of the togetherness that we have, the unity that we need to provide to each other, coming together and showing the world what we're capable of and what our backgrounds are.
The Student Union had many performances displaying their culture during their showcase, including different fashions and songs. But their dances hold a greater significance to Black history than just a performing art.
So growing up in Cameroon, dance was a way to also communicate. So I feel like dance has inspired our culture by letting people express themselves. It's like dance is a form of expression. So that's how I think it's involved my culture.
There are a variety of dances and songs in Black culture that represent the significance of their history, with one of the most important being Lift Every Voice and Sing, which has also been known as the Black National Anthem.
Even though everything we've been through, it shows us on a more unified front, because during America's history, we weren't really considered as people, African Americans. We were considered as property. And so what do you do with your property? It's just like a thing, it's there. You don't really take care of it or anything.
These performances and songs help carry on Black history as well as signify what they had to fight through to get to the place in society that they have today. For WGTV, I'm Sharka Call.
BSU's first Black History Month showcase had a great turnout, and we hope to see more performances from them in the future.
In Texas news, the state will receive $358 million to improve water infrastructure. Throughout the state, broken pipes and pipe system has resulted in 30 billion gallons of water in 2021, according to the Texas Tribune. This plan hopes to improve water quality and storm protection. On Thursday, many Texans and Americans, for that matter, woke up to find their phones disconnected from their cellular data network. Network outages affected AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile nationwide. The next day, AT&T stated in a press release they believe that today's outage was caused by the application and execution of an incorrect process used as they were expanding our network, not a cyber attack.
Students in all sections of the Grove are striving to be leaders for their peers and their community. Chris Munchmeyer follows what this leadership looks like for two students.
Young leaders around the Grove are creating ripples influencing the entire school community. Student leaders, through their words and actions, inspire and exemplify these remarkable leadership qualities.
I believe I can really connect to my team members and club members on a personal level more than what DECA entails. Actually understanding their unique problems and issues really helps me understand them better. So I think that really helps my leadership abilities.
Manish is reliable and truly embodies effective leadership.
Manish Sriram is our VP of Leadership at our local DECA chapter. And Manish is just a great way of exemplifying what it means to be a leader. And when there's lots to get done, that's so reassuring as a sponsor to see a student just step up, take the lead, and encourage his peers to do the same. It's a breath of fresh air.
With Ms. McClendon's mentorship, Manish is able to excel, demonstrating collaborative leadership at its finest. Kenzie Kingston has also been making an impact, helping others feel included in all aspects at the Grove.
So the PALS program, it's a special education and general education friendship club here on the Grove, where we try to integrate our special friends in all the facets of the high school experience and also just create those friendships and just like go through high school together. I think what makes me a good student leader is in everything I do, I try to just love each other. That's like the base of my morals. And my interactions with others, I just want to make sure that they feel seen and heard and just like essentially loved.
These student leaders truly elevate our school to its highest standards. With WGTV, I'm Christopher Munchmeyer.
Both students plan to enhance their status as leaders at Walnut Grove and will surely uplift and inspire their peers. Our sports team have been hard at work in their games and tournaments. Jackson is live in the studio to give you this week's sports recap. Jackson.
Thank you, Arnatus. Starting things off with basketball, our boys played Independence back on February 13th. The boys led the game the whole way and won with a final score of 64-50. They finished the regular season with a 24-8 record and were second in districts with an 11-3 record. The boys' first playoff game in program history was against Newman Smith. It was a very close game, but in the end the Wildcats came out on top, 60-54, making themselves bi-district champions. The next game was last Friday against the WT White Longhorns. It was anyone's game, but the Wildcats fell just short, losing 52-45, ending their playoff run. This was still an incredible first season for the program. We can't wait to see what they'll do next year for basketball. Girls basketball had their first game as well on February 13th against Reedy. Unfortunately, the Wildcats were going to lose this matchup 39-32, ending their playoff run. Both soccer teams have been busy the past 2 weeks. Boys started off on February 13th against Heritage. The game was back and forth, but ultimately led to a 3-3 tie. The boys went on to face Liberty on the 20th, where they go on to dominate, winning 4-0. Lastly, they visited Lebanon Trail and once again came out on top 2-1. Girls soccer was also dominant over their 3-game stretch, which started on February 13th at Heritage. The Wildcats cruised through the Coyotes, winning 5-1, but their next game was at Liberty, where once again the girls came out on top big with a 5-0 shutout. Finally, they hosted Lebanon Trail, and it was another shutout for the girls, winning 2-0. Next, softball. They played 13 games in the span of 2 weeks and about on fire, going 11-2. They won their first game in program history on February 13th against Lovejoy, winning 8-2. On February 15th, the Wildcats destroyed the MacArthur Brahmas, winning 16-0. These girls held the momentum going to the following day against Vandergrift, winning 21-8. The last game we'll cover was on Saturday, where the girls won once again, this time 10-3 against Sebring. Junior Ella Burlich has been leading the way offensively, batting .515 with a .590 on base percentage and 3 home runs. Wrapping up our sports recap is swim and dive. Our Wildcats swept the podium at the state meet, which has never been done in the history of UIL athletics. Luke Setz managed to repay as a state champion and broke a UIL scoring record in the process. Deacon and Derek Colbert placed second and third to complete that podium sweep. That's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Jackson Kingerski. Back to you, Arnita Similli.
Thanks, Jackson. The Human Growth and Development class here at the Grove have been hard at working creating quiet books, soft books with activities inside of them. Hudson Acosta is live in the Innovation Lab with a story.
Here, Anita's. I'm in the Innovation Lab right now taking a look at Mrs. Webb's Human Growth and Development class. They're currently working on quiet books. Quiet books are filled with fun activities, bright colors, and are designed for toddlers to inspire creativity and imagination.
So right now, my students are exploring the developmental stage of toddlerhood. Essentially, they're learning how toddlers develop physically, cognitively, emotionally, and socially. And in our discovery, we learned that one of the ways that toddlers are able to develop in this critical area is through books.
These books allow children to be able to learn more important skills essential to the development of gross and fine motor skills using colors, shapes, and even words.
So the name of my quiet book is Lots of Sports, and basically it's a book full of different types of sports that there are in this world with different ways you can interact with each type of sport. So I have like a soccer page where a kid can move the soccer ball across the field. I have a basketball page and a little ball, and a kid can just kind of move the ball around the court. So this book can really just help kids understand like the different kinds of sports and the rules and how you play. And it's just a fun interactive thing to do that you can also do with your parents.
With how useful these quiet books are for children and their parents, it's helpful that they aren't difficult to make.
Well, I used a bunch of different materials, so all the way from
Felt, paper, markers, I did it all. I used hole punchers. Anything that helped me, like ribbon. So in this case, the whole book practically is made out of felt, but I did hot glue things. I had to cut things to make the shapes. So like, for example, the rainbows, I had to cut out these pieces. So a whole mix of things, but you really can use anything.
Miss Webb's Human Growth and Development class is planning on giving these quiet books to their families or donating them, and I'm excited to see what they have in store.
Reporting for WGTV, I'm Hudson Costa. Back to you in studio, Millie and Arnitas.
Thanks, Hudson. With items like quiet books allow toddlers to learn basic functions and skills, ultimately learning more about the world around them.
That's all we have for today's episode for WGTV. I'm Millie Salinas.
And I'm Arnitas James. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats set the standard.